While scrolling through Steam's huge list of free games, one title caught my interest. It looked familiar, but I couldn't remember why. Then it hit me. I played this on my phone way back in 2019, but now it's on Steam? That got me thinking. Can a mobile game really stand out on Steam when it's next to so many full-blown PC games? Let's find out by taking a look at Shop Titans. Before I talk about how easy it is to get into this game, I have to be honest with you. I usually review games that I've never played before so I can give them all a fair shot. In this case though, I played Shop Titans 5 years ago. I even re-downloaded the mobile app just to check, and believe it or not, I played it longer during this review than I did back then. I didn't even remember the gameplay from the first time, so this review is still fresh and fair, but I just wanted to be clear since that's always my goal with these videos. Now, when you start Shop Titans, the tutorial does two things. It shows you the story and it teaches you how to run your shop. It feels a lot like other mobile game tutorials. It tells you how to do something, gives you a little time to try it out, then jumps back in to explain the next step. According to the App Store, the game is for ages 9 and up, and that makes sense. The long, simple explanations feel like they're made for younger players. Not only for them, but they're clearly part of the audience. I'd say your first 20 minutes or so are spent learning how the shop works while slowly getting into the story. Playing Shop Titans with friends doesn't feel like a regular PC game. It feels more like a mobile game. Right before you hit level 4, the game opens up guilds and in-game chat. When you join a guild, you can help others and ask for items too. But if you want to play with your actual friends and not just random people, you'll need to get into the same guild. That can be tricky if there aren't enough spots left. You can make your own guild, but there is a catch. Starting a guild costs 500 gems. That's about $5 in real money. You can earn gems by playing, but it takes a long time. Probably hours just to get enough to play with your friends. So unless you want to grind a lot, playing with friends might cost you. Thanks to the tutorial and clicking around the crafting screen, the main goal is clear. Make better gear and sell it. The game also gives you quests which teach you what to do next. They show you that you should keep upgrading your shop, your workers, and just about everything else as you go. Some quests also just give you rewards. As your shop gets better, you earn champion coins to level up your champions, and that's what keeps the story moving forward. This game starts to feel a bit like wash, rinse, repeat, because that's exactly what it is. While playing Shop Titans, the main loop never really changes. You craft items, you sell them, then you do it all over again. The only real thing that you do is manage your heroes and send them on quests. The story doesn't add much either. Every time your champions level up, you get a tiny bit of story. But honestly, it's not that interesting. For example, one character named Argon wants to become one of the king's knights, so when you help him level up, his story moves forward. But there's barely any detail and it doesn't feel connected to what you're doing in your shop. Instead of a big exciting story, it feels more like a small side plot that doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, Shop Titans is kind of like a fancy clicker game. You click, wait, click again, and there's no big goal or exciting story to pull you along. That said, Shop Titans has a lot of replay value. The game runs in seasons, and like most live service games, there's a season pass that gives you extra challenges. This setup is really common in online games today. Whether or not that content is actually fun is another story, and we'll get to that soon. But first, let's take a look at how many people are playing Shop Titans. When I logged on, there were over 4,500 people playing Shop Titans on Steam. The 24-hour peak was just over 4,600. That's actually a pretty good number considering that's only Steam players. The game is also available on iOS, Android, and the Epic Game Store, so the total number of players could be much higher. One website, playtracker.net, says that there are more than 33,000 active players in total, but when I looked into how they came up with that number, it wasn't very clear, so take that with a grain of salt. Looking back at the Steam stats, player numbers have slowly gone down over the past year. Just a little bit. But overall, the player base still looks strong. Even with the slight drop, there's nothing major to worry about for now. If you've seen some of my past reviews, you know I'm not a big fan of games that make you create an account just to play. Luckily, Shop Titans doesn't force that. Instead, linking an account is just a feature. Something you can do, not something you have to do. And honestly, that makes sense. I don't think most people are discovering this game on Steam and sitting down for long PC sessions. More likely, they started playing on mobile and just want the option to jump on their PC when it's convenient. The Steam player count shows that there is a solid group playing there, but it's still much smaller than the 33,000 that we saw from PlayTracker. If that number's accurate, it backs up the idea that most players probably are on mobile. Either way, it's nice that you can play on different devices and pick up where you left off. Now here's something surprising. Shop Titans looks pretty good even though it has very low system requirements. Seriously, you could probably run this on a potato. The art style is simple and clean, and the game is easy on the eyes. The menus are also laid out really well, so you don't get lost clicking around. Since this game started on mobile, I was a little worried that the PC version would feel like a bad port of an old mobile game, but that wasn't the case. I was surprised to see that you can earn power back by giving discounts, chatting with customers, or selling items, which keeps you playing. You can also get power back by adding a pet or decorating your shop. When a customer interacts with decorations or your pet, you'll earn power points back. In the early parts of the game, you can play for a long time without needing to stop, as long as you're careful about how often you use surcharges to earn more gold. For some context, surcharges use a lot of power, but you get a lot more gold in return. Given the mobile nature of the game, I would expect that at some point power is going to be harder to acquire and surcharging your items will have a bigger impact. Aside from those features, there really isn't much else in Shop Titans that stood out as cool or exciting. And there are a few reasons why it doesn't feel that exciting. First, the story is weak and honestly kind of pointless. Remember Argon, the guy who wants to be one of the king's knights? Well, after my time playing, the only real thing I learned was he wants to be a knight. Later, there's a short scene where someone teases him about having a crush on the king's assistant, but that's it. It didn't pull me in at all, and it definitely didn't make me want to keep playing for the story. Now, let's talk about the gem problem again. I really don't like when games make you pay for basic features like playing with your friends. Yes, you can earn 500 gems by grinding, but you'll also need gems for other important things. For example, if you want to open chests and you don't have keys, you'll need to spend gems. So in the end, it starts to feel like you have to spend real money. What makes it worse is that the game wants you to use guilds to get help from other players. But if you want to play with your actual friends, you either need to find the same guild with open spots or pay gems to create your own. That just doesn't feel fair. Playing with friends should be simple and built into any game claiming to be multiplayer. But it's not just the gems. The microtransactions in this game are way over the top. It feels like every time you log in, there's a new offer trying to get you to spend money. The store icon is always showing, and you're constantly reminded to check out new packs. At one point, even the king showed up at my shop asking me to buy stuff. I get that free games need to make money, but this kind of pressure is one of the reasons I stopped playing mobile games, and seeing this on Steam just feels wrong. Another big problem is how many different types of currencies the game uses. It's way too much. You got gold, gems, spin tickets, champion coins, guild coins, renown, fortune tokens, and maybe even more I didn't notice. It's confusing. The game would be a lot easier to manage if it just used one regular currency, one for leveling, and maybe one paid currency. But with so many, it just feels messy and hard to keep track of. Now you might be thinking, this game has a lot of problems. Why are you still talking about it? And honestly, it's because Shop Titans is kind of fun. I've said before, I don't really play mobile games anymore. I got tired of all the ads, pop-ups, and being asked to spend money every 5 minutes. I ended up deleting those games. These days, the only kind of mobile games I play is something like Stardew Valley, a full game I paid for with no annoying extras. But even though Shop Titans is clearly a mobile game at heart, I still enjoyed my time with it. It's sort of a mix between an idle game and a clicker. You don't really earn anything while you're away except for items crafting in the background, and when you're playing, you mostly just click to make stuff. But there's something relaxing about it. It's the kind of game you can play while drinking a cup of coffee, then walk away and come back later. It's not super exciting, but it's kinda cozy. But all that said, I don't think there's enough here to make me come back. I totally get why some people would enjoy this game, especially mobile gamers, and the ability to play across different devices is a nice feature. But when you compare Shop Titans to all the other free games available on PC, it's tough to recommend. That's ultimately why Shop Titans gets a 4 out of 10, placing it in C tier. If you're thinking about trying Shop Titans, I've added links to the store page in the description. If you like this video or agree with the C tier rating, hit that like button. If you have a free-to-play game that you'd like me to review, or if you plan to play Shop Titans, let me know down in the comments. Also, don't forget to click the video link on your screen, because the next game might be your new favorite.